here.
Good to go? Starting.
Hold on.
Pueblo West High School would like to welcome East High School tonight for this league conference volleyball match. I'd like to remind you that this is a CHASA sanctioned event, so please act accordingly. If you would please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Pueblo West JROTC. Just courtesy to remain standing till the colors leave the floor as well. Tonight's color guard is commanded by 2nd Lieutenant McMullen. Other color guard members tonight are Sergeant First Class Grausinger, Sergeant First Class Wegler, Sergeant O'Connor. Tonight, the national anthem will be sung by sophomore Grace Kilbuck and junior Hannah Swidlinski. Pueblo East Eagles. Number 1.
Hello and welcome here to our, third volleyball broadcast here at PWHS High School, and it will be PWHS High School versus East, and I am Nolan Simmons here with
Michaela Thomas,
and we are well on our way sending off the starter rosters for the East, and we will let you hear these off.
Number 7, Jesse Gardner. Number 8, Taylor Gravette. Number 9, the Jazz Padula. Number 10, Lindsay Whipple. Number 11, Raina B. Hill. Number 13, Judea Williams. And number 15, Faith White. And now for your Pueblo West Cyclones. Number 1, setter Junior Brienne Manchego. Number 2, DS Junior Mariah Ottaby. Number 3, playing opposite, senior captain Brittany Schroop. Number 4, junior outside and opposite, Chase Rump. Number 5, playing middle, junior Olivia Sherman. Number 6, playing libero, senior captain Taylor Hogan. Number 7, outside, senior captain Kennedy Shriver. Number 8, outside, junior Amanda Daniels. Number 9, middle, senior captain Courtney Medeiros. Number 10, junior DS Kelsey Garcia. Number 11, middle, junior Emily Hannenberg. Number 12, outside, junior Malia Menegatti. And number 13, outside freshman, Reagan Emery. Tonight, our R1 will be Miss Kathy Cox, R2, Wayne Hunter. Line judges, Bailey Krasovic and Caitlin Sidarsky. Come up, ladies.
All right, and we are well under our way here, starting with the first set. Of course, PWHS Cyclones versus East. And as you heard their starting lineup, Michaela, we actually got a chance to go talk down to each one of the coaches, of course. Why don't we start with the East? What did East have to say?
Well, first, East coach, Coach Romero. I first went to his assistant coach, but I'll get to that later in the game. I asked him, do you switch up your drills for practice? He said, absolutely. He thinks that if they stay on the same drills, they're never going to get better at different things in the volleyball. So they switched it up. They play 4-on-5 against drills, against their best hitters, and they do that so that they can get and I also asked him, or actually Nolan asked him, is he excited to come against Pueblo West and play against Pueblo West? And he said he loves coming forward and looking forward to playing against them. He said he always likes Cyclones to just play against because we're a tough team.
All right, well, that was actually really interesting to get each side so far. We'll learn about more what West Coach had to say about a couple of questions we asked him, because we've asked him in the past, we've asked him generic questions, so we decided to go a little bit more complex, but we'll get to those a little later. But it looks like that East will get first serve. Here is East, waiting for the whistle. Here's her serve. I believe that is number 15.
Faith White.
Number 10.
And that would be Kelsey Garcia.
Back to White. And Schlup trying to get that one. Gets a hand on it, but it goes out of bounds.
Now, we actually talked to Coach King earlier, and he said that Brittany Schlup is actually one of their top players, and she's actually one of the captains for the team, along with senior captain Courtney Medeiros, number 9.
White with the serve again, but Hanneberg returning with another amazing power spike, and White took that straight to the chest. And Cyclones couldn't return after that. But here's White for the third time. White over to Menegatti. Manchango to set up. Menegatti with the spike. And that will give Cyclones the point.
And in previous games, we've seen Malia Menegatti just never stop. So let's see if she keeps that up throughout the season.
Here's Manchango. Number 1, junior here at Pueblo West High School. White over to number 4 with an amazing spike for her height, actually getting up there and over the net to get such a powerful hit right behind. And here is number 10, I believe. Manchango with the setup to Menegatti. Menegatti with another killer spike to get her in the point. And here is senior captain. Excuse me for my voice. Senior captain Taylor Hogan. With the great block for the Cyclones, and here's Hogan once more. Hogan with the serve. To White with the setup. I believe that was number 8 getting it over. Sherman giving that point for the Cyclones, and Taylor Hogan once more at serve. I believe this is her third time. Hogan to White, over to number 8. Hogan decides to tap that one, giving East the point. 13 will be checking in for, I believe, number 11 for defensive purposes. There's the serve. Manchango with the setup to Schlup. Schlup just lobbing it over. Great dig by number 4. And I believe that will be Cyclone's point.
That is Cyclone point, and now we're up 1 point, so it's 5-4 right now. Cyclones with the win.
Here's Menegatti. We've seen her powerful serves in the past. And I think I just jinxed Menegatti there.
Way to go, Nolan. Way to go.
They'll get that one back. I believe in them. And I believe that is number 11 serving. This Schlup with a killer spike right on the edge of the out of bounds. And here's Schlup. Schlup with the serve. So I believe that was 15 over to 7. 7 with the killer spike.
You know, Nolan, I'm looking at this game, and at the beginning of the game, I asked Coach Romero for the East Eagles, I said, what is your coaching philosophy? And he said, really, we're just a scrappy team. He said, it's just, like, they're not really that good, and he doesn't really have a lot of tall girls, so they just go and try and get the best that they can. And honestly, they're coming off pretty strong so far.
That will be East point. Cyclones thinking that East commuted a penalty. And Hanneberg will actually be checking in for Hogan. Hogan gets a little bit of a breather. Here's Sherman. Number 4 to 13. 13 sailing that way out of bounds. Sherman once more. Sherman over to Williams. So I believe that's number 4. Back to number 7 of Gardner's. Gardner taking it away. 13 will be checking out, and I believe number 9.
Number 9 is actually Chaz Padula, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And she is actually one of the star players on East Eagles, according to Coach Romero.
An intense match going on here is Gardner. Gardner trying to take it away. Gets a little bit too much power behind that. And here is number 10, Garcia. And I guess we're not going to see Autumn beat tonight. She had some really killer serves. I guess she's still kind of hurt from last match. Sloop over to Manchego, over to Medigatti. Medigatti trying to take it away. Number 4, Gardner, and as well as Padula fighting over that. Doesn't actually get good communications down below. But Garcia once more. Number 5. Number 4. Great dig by Sloop. Hogan over to Medigatti. Medigatti selling that one out of bounds. And then there's White once more checking in for, I believe, Gardner.
Now, Nolan, when this server number 15 goes up, Faith White, I've been watching her for practice, and she is very energetic, and she always supports the team on no matter what they do. She goes, congratulations, good job, and she reminds me of Brittany Schloop on our side for the Cyclones.
I have seen that energy come from her, but here's Matt Gotti trying to get a killer spike, and I believe that'll be a penalty. Here's Manchego, number 1 of the Pueblo West Cyclones, for their first serve of the night. Here's White. I believe that is number 9 of Padula taking it away for his team.
Now, Nolan, I haven't really seen a serve or a hit or a pass, I should say, kind of like that before. Number, I believe it was 15, where she goes back to hit it back to that front corner, and another player just comes up and hits it over. And I think Cyclones weren't expecting it to be in, and that's how they got that point.
I didn't think they were expecting that either. Medigatti trying to get a killer spike there. Garcia over to Hogan. Hogan has to hit it over. Here's Faith White. And that will be way out of bounds. But here's Hogan for a second time up to serve. Hannenberg actually checking out there. There's Hogan over to Faith White. To number 8. There's Hogan. Hogan over to Faith White. Number 9 trying to take that one away. White setting up. I believe that'll be number 4. Medigatti over to the corner. White hitting it over. Hogan setting up to Manchego. Over to Sherman. Sherman trying to take it away. Here's Garcia. Sherman has to hit it over. Here's White setting up her teammate. That was a killer. Got so much height on her just for being so small.
Now, really quick, Nolan, before we get into this next serve, East Eagles, I have not seen a great enough support from any of the other high schools that have come and supported their team. And East Eagles right now has the biggest turnout for their team and supporting for volleyball. This is the biggest one I've seen yet.
Well, that's a little unfortunate because school spirit's just a big thing going on that should be always supported. And then Manchengo just lobbing that one over to get the 3-point for her team. The East Eagles were not expecting that at all. Menegatti back to serve for the second time. Let's see if she can get the serve within bounds this time. Menegatti with the serve. Great serve by her. There's White. So I believe that was number 9 attempting that. No, excuse me, number 4 of Romero. Menegatti once more. Here's White. It's number 8. Number 8 of Grava, and that will be a timeout. So you actually had a chance to talk to a couple of the coaches once more. Why don't we hear the West side? What did their head coach have to say?
Our head coach for Pueblo Cyclones is Coach King, and he has been teaching her for, I think, 11 years is what he said last time. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, let's get on to the questions. I asked him, I said, have your players gained potential have you seen any potential or gained potential since the start of the season? And he said, we keep getting better throughout the season. Really, you don't know what that potential is until further down throughout the season. But they've done really good so far, and he sees them getting better and better throughout the season and throughout games.
Menegatti back at the serve. Menegatti. So Faith White. So I believe that's number 4. Lobbing it over twice. Cyclones having to scramble. There's Menegatti. Big scramble by the Eagles. The Eagles don't quite get it over. That was very impressive by both sides. Both scrambling to get that point.
Definitely. That was definitely one trying to get for that point.
Here's Menegatti. To White. Over to 8 of back to Garvett. Menegatti. To Manchengo to Sherman. Sherman trying to take it away there. There's White. Over to Garvett. Number 7 of the Cyclones can't convert. That will be Shriver. Kennedy Shriver.
Now number 4, Juviana Romero, she comes in, and I asked the coach who's kind of your star players, and he named off 3 of them. Not really, he said every player is very good, but he said these 3 definitely stand out. And number 4, Joviana Romero, sorry, she's one of those that stands out throughout the games and keeps the team together.
Here's Sloop with the serve. Over to number 4 of Romero. And that will be a penalty on the East Eagles, who will give the Cyclones a free point. There's Sloop. Sloop. Over to number 4 of Romero to number 7 of Gardner. Gardner. Over to, I believe, number 8. Number 7 of Kennedy Shriver couldn't take that one away. Great defense by the East Eagles. And number 7 of Jesse Gardner, an old Pueblo West Cyclone here, actually a sophomore this year. Used to go here to Pueblo West Pueblo West, and she switched schools.
And I love to see those athletes that switch schools and still play the same sports.
Yeah, it actually just truly show that they don't care what team that they're on. They just love the game no matter what, and they just constantly want to play.
Do you think it would be tough to play against your old teammates, Nolan?
Well, if I had connected with my team quite very well, and I hung out with a lot of them out of school, and I really got along with them, I think it would be really hard to come to my old school and then play for the other team and not really have that support that she used to have from her old teammates, and then just kind of getting those dirty looks. I wouldn't really say dirty looks, just kind of like disappointment that she kind of switched schools and doesn't really stay with the Cyclones, but I think the Cyclones will get over it and then just realize it's just a game.
I agree.
Sherman. Over number 4 to 13 of Williams. And Eagles with a great excitement. And I cannot see the number of the server right now. Sloop. Over to Manchenko, over to Sloop. And that will be Menegatti. And Gardner could not quite convert. And I'm sorry, number 4 was not Sloop. It is actually
Chase Rump.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's Garcia. To number 4. To number 9. Great defense by the Cyclones. Garcia. Here's Garcia. Over to number 4. Zach Gardner. That'll be Menegatti. To number 11. Back to 4. Over to number 9, I believe. That's Sloop to Menegatti. And number 5 of the East Eagles, Watley, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Actually receiving that spike and it sailing it out of bounds after she hits it. Here's Garcia for her 4th time. There's number 4 to number 5 of Watley. Manchenko over to Hannenberg. Hannenberg with a killer spike. Garcia, let's see if she can end off this set. Garcia. Garcia with the missed serve. And this will be back up again for her 3rd time, Faith White. White over to Hogan. Hannenberg with the killer spike, set up by Manchenko. And that will be first set to Cyclones. And we will have a couple minutes to sit here and talk with you guys. So, Michaela, you had time to ask questions for both coach and as well as assistant coach for East and one of the refs here that's actually coaching tonight.
Yes, I did, Nolan, and on accident, actually, I went to the assistant coach for East Eagles, and I didn't realize that was the assistant. I thought it was the head coach, but it was okay. I ended up asking him a question anyways, and I asked him, I said, are you involved throughout the season or just like during games? How involved are you? And he said he's involved all season. He's involved all season, and he said they really like to play West. So I talked to him, and I also asked one of the refs a question, Ref Wayne Hunter, and I've actually seen him throughout these last few games where he's been here and he's helping, and I asked him, is it tough to make some calls sometimes? And he said, yes, definitely. Sometimes it's hard to make calls. He said that they go to their best, and he tries to do what the best call is for, and just tries to make it fair. So props to those refs. I know it's hard out there for them, and they do what's right.
right, we're back once more here in the second set. Back with Garcia of the PWHS Cyclones. Garcia over to White, and I believe that was number.
That was number 9, and that was Chaz Padula.
Thank you, Michaela.
You're welcome, Nolan.
Here's Garcia. Garcia over to Faith White, and a killer spike from number 4. From Romero, being a sophomore, getting that amazing hype. Amazing. Garcia. So I believe number 5. Manchego to Hannenberg. Hannenberg with the killer setup. Garcia being a great server right now.
And you know, man, I can't say right now, but she's always been a really good server, and I love seeing her serve.
That's number 5. To the corner of number 9. And that will be a hand over the net. And that will be Cyclones point. That will be a timeout, I believe, by East. So, did we use all the questions, Michaela?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, let's hear what else. I guess let's go back to East. What else did East coach have to say?
Alright, well, I actually got a kick out of this question. I went to ask Coach Romero on the East Eagles side, and I said, why do you enjoy coaching? And he was silent for a second, and I was thinking to myself, maybe he doesn't like coaching. But he said, good question. He said, he loves coaching, he enjoys coaching, and loves teaching the kids about the athletics, and that it involves an everyday skills. He says his motto is that there's always a tomorrow, and that this volleyball and athletics and practicing and all that gets them prepared for tomorrow and their skills throughout their everyday life.
Alright, well, thank you once more, Michaela, for those questions.
You're welcome.
Glad you could go down and be real professional about it and actually ask these questions, and we really appreciate it. But here's Faith White to number 10, Garcia, over to Manchego, over to Menegatti in the corner. We've always seen her in that corner. There's White, lobbing it over, and that's to Manchego, back to Hannenberg. Hannenberg taking it away. Here's Garcia once more. And that will be a dig by Garcia, but East Eagles will be ending up at that point. Number 10, first time we've seen her, and I believe that's Ripley at the East Eagles. Whipley to Hogan, to Manchego, to Hannenberg. Hannenberg trying to take it out. Here's Whipley once more. Whipley over to Hogan. Manchego setting up to Menegatti. Number 11 to Whipley. Over to number 4, Romero. Here's Manchego to Hannenberg. Hannenberg always taking it away here. Hannenberg having a stunning night already, getting, I believe that's her 5th spike. Spike for a point right there. And Schloop will actually be checking out for number 9 of the Cyclones. And that will be Medeiros. Here's Manchego. White. Over to number 9. Number 9 of Padula. Or excuse me, yeah, actually, I'm right. Why am I questioning myself? Here's Padula.
Oh no.
Menegatti. To Manchego, to Medeiros. Number 13 lobbing it over. Menegatti with the setup to Manchego, to Hannenberg trying to take it away. Here's White with the setup. Over to number 9 of Padula. Manchego. I believe that was Hannenberg taking it away. And here's Hogan. Hannenberg actually checking out. Number 10 to number 11, can't quite convert. Hogan with the serve. I believe this is her third time up to serve.
No, I believe this is like her fifth or sixth time serving.
Well, I'm sorry. If you know the actual numbers.
It was just an educated guess.
An educated guess. What, my guess or your guess?
My guess.
Yeah, see.
But I know it was more than 3 times, that's for sure.
No, I think it was just right around 3 times.
No.
I'm not having this argument with you there.
Alright.
And number 9 of Pueblo taking that away for the East Eagles. Here's number 11. Oh, excuse me. Number 4. Romero, sorry. I thought Vigil was walking back to serve, but Romero to Manchego to Sherman. There's Gardner. Gardner sealing that one out of bounds.
Now Shriver comes back in with a big old smile on her face, and last time right before this, for the second set, she kind of went out with a little frown. But she's been doing really good so far, so that's always good.
Hogan to Manchego to Sherman. Sherman taking that one away. Hogan over to Manchego, over to Shriver. That'll be number 11 of Vigil. Some 8 of Garvette. Sherman taking that one away. Menegatti back up once more for the serve. Menegatti. Over to Gardner trying to take it out. There's number 4 of Romero. Maderos to, I believe, Manchego. Manchego getting that one in bounds. Here's Menegatti. Menegatti to Hogan. To Manchego to Sherman. To number 4, Romero to Gardner. Hogan. That one's going out of bounds. It's being East Eagles point. And here will be number 5 of Watley from the East Eagles. Here's serve over to Hogan. To Manchego to Sherman. Can't quite convert. Here's Watley. Watley to Menegatti. To Manchego. Over to Shriver. Shriver, too much power on that one. Here's Watley. Menegatti. Sherman with the great save. Here's Shriver once more. Hogan, Menegatti hitting it over. Vigil trying to save that one. Great play by the Cyclones. And Schloop will be checking in for Maderos. Schloop here for the serve. Schloop over to Romero, over to Gardner. And that will be a penalty on the Cyclones, giving the East Eagles a point. It'll be Vigil's serve. Vigil with the serve. To Menegatti. Menegatti hitting that one with her chest instead of her arms.
I think Menegatti was a little frightened that it came at her that quick. I don't think she was prepared for it.
Here's V-Hill. V-Hill over to Menegatti. To Manchego to Sherman. Sherman trying to take that one away to V-Hill. Over to Gardner. Hogan to Manchego to Shriver. V-Hill over to Romero to number 9 who can't quite convert a Padula. Hannenberg will be checking in for Hogan. And here's Sherman. V-Hill over to Romero to number 1 of Ellis. To Ellis. To Padula. Padula getting the point for her team.
Now, Nolan, I'm just looking in the stands, and we have a packed house tonight. I think on both sides, our guests in this game and our own team's supporters are definitely came out to see how West played against East and how East played against West.
And Shriver trying to kill that and get the point for her team. And I guess a penalty on the East Eagles. But here's Garcia checking in for Kennedy Shriver, senior here at Pueblo West High School. Here's Garcia. Garcia over to White. Over to Ellis. Ellis can't quite convert, and that will be Garcia back up against one more serve. Garcia to White to Padula. Great block by both Hannenberg and Menegatti. Here's Garcia. Garcia over to White, and I believe that'll be Ellis. I'm almost positive I'm butchering your name. Sorry, Caitlin.
That is Caitlin Ellis.
So it is Ellis?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
You're very welcome.
Over to Faith White to Romero, and that will be Cyclones point. And Garcia absolutely wiping the floor with her serves tonight. Here's Garcia. Over to White. Over to Romero. Hogan to Manchego. To Menegatti in the corner. And that one was sailed out of bounds after East Eagles trying to block it. Garcia, I believe, for her 7th time in this set. Up here to serve. Garcia gets a missed serve on that one. And a couple check-ins. Gardner will be checking in. And as well as Whipley will be serving. Whipley over to Hogan. Over to Manchego. Over to Menegatti. V-Hill to White. To Padula. Manchego to Menegatti. Menegatti just absolutely killing that. Here's V-Hill having to get it over. Here's Hogan. Manchego with the setup to Hannenberg. Hannenberg absolutely just killing it with her spikes tonight.
That was definitely a quick and a very good get-to-it ball game.
And here's Medeiros checking in for Schlup. Manchego with the serve. Manchego to White. Padula having to get it over. There's Garcia over to Manchego. Over to Medeiros. Medeiros just barely lobbing that one over to White. To Romero. That's Manchego. Over to Menegatti. V-Hill with the receive. Menegatti trying to get the block. And that will be a penalty, I believe, on Menegatti. Here's Padula. Padula selling that one way out of bounds. And that will be Vigil checking back in for Padula. Here's Hogan. Hogan with the serve. Over to Vigil. Over to White. Over to number 13 of Williams. Here's Medeiros. And number 8 of Garvat. Could not quite convert. Hogan. Hogan to White. Over to Padula. No, excuse me. Garvat. Menegatti. And that one will be out of bounds. Here's Romero.
Alright, Nolan. Number 4, Romero.
Sherman trying to kill that one. There's Romero. There's Hogan to Menegatti. Menegatti with another killer spike like we usually see. Has such great height on her. Here's Menegatti with the serve. Set point. Menegatti to Gardner. And that will be to number 8 of Garvet. Williams not ready to receive on that one. So, Michaela, once more we have some time. So, we actually had some time, spare time to talk to the assistant coach. Or did we already talk about the assistant coach?
We already did talk about the assistant coach, but it's okay to add. He was very nice, and he kind of gave us a little hard time in a funny way, but gave us a little hard time about thinking he's the head coach, and he laughed and he said, no, that man over there in the white with the tie on is your head coach. So I said, you know what, I'll still ask you a question. Is that okay? And he said, very much so. So I did talk to the assistant coach. I talked to the rest. But our Cyclones coach, I've talked to him throughout the season, and he loves coaching. He loves helping out the girls. But I asked him, I said, who's the player that keeps the team together? And he said, every match is different. Some girls have to step up to get it going in the net, like within the plays and stuff. But he said, throughout all those matches, Brittany Schloop, and she is number, let me look real quick. She's number 3. She has a very funny personality. She has a lot of energy, and she brings that a lot to the matches and to the sets and keeps everybody going. And then, real quick for your East Side coach, I said, who is your star player? And he waited a minute and he said, you know, they're all really good individuals and really good team players individually, but he said there's definitely 3. Number 9, Chaz Padula, number 8, Taylor Grabat, and number 4, Giuliana Romero. All 3 of those are seniors, and he said they have a lot of energy. They're very athletic. And they have a never quit attitude. And I asked him, I said, that's what you want in a team player, right? And he said, absolutely. So that's all that I have for the East Side coach, but he was very willing to talk to us. And that wraps up for halftime.
All right, here's starting our 3rd set, and it'll be Faith White with the first serve.
waiting for Faith White to do her serve. Our student section is getting riled up and having a blast over there.
Here's White. Hogan. Over to Hannenberg. Hannenberg taking that point away. Here's Manchego. Manchego. Over to White. And Padula coming to pick that one up. Manchego over to Sloop. Sloop sailing that one to Faith White. To number 1 of Ellis. And Garcia couldn't quite get that dig. But here is Whitley of the East Eagles. Whitley with the serve. Over to Menegatti. Manchego with the setup to Hannenberg. And that one will sail way into the stadiums.
Now, as I said earlier, Nolan, number 15 for East Eagles, Faith White, she has a spunky personality and she reminds me a lot of Brittany Schlup, but she went after that ball even after it was on the outbounds and just continued to go after it.
Padula over to Garcia, to Manchego, to Schlup, lobbing that one over to get the point. Here's Hogan. Hogan. Over to White. To number 8 of Garvett. Manchego. To Menegatti. Sherman. Over to Schlup. And actually an interesting fact, Schlup, number 3 of the Pueblo Cyclones, actually being a former member of the Pueblo Cyclone. Sad to actually see her go.
Just go ahead and follow.
But here's Hogan.
Do what you're doing.
And Schlup actually panicking on that one. Didn't expect the ball to sail over to the net. And Coach King kind of giving Schlup some advice of how to handle that situation. Hogan. Over to Manchego, over to Schlup. To Romero. To Padula, back to Romero. Here's Manchego. Here's Sherman. Sherman taking that one away.
I got extra. I want to be in the foreground, not the foreground.
And here's Menegatti with the serve. Menegatti. Over to number 4 of Romero, making that one sail out of bounds. Here's Menegatti. Menegatti. Over to 4, Romero, over to Williams. Williams having to get that one over. Menegatti over to Manchego, over to Schlup. And that will be a penalty on the Cyclones. And I believe that is Romero serving. Romero to Schlup. Over to Manchego, over to Menegatti from the center with the great spike. V-Hill to Gardner. Back to Menegatti, back to back to Sherman. Gardner having to get that one over. Menegatti. Over to number 9 of Padula, over to Gardner. Menegatti to Sherman. Or excuse me, to Manchego, then to Sherman. Sherman actually getting the point on that one. And Menegatti back at serve. Or excuse me, Schlup. And Schlup will actually be checking out. And here is Otterby. Thought we weren't going to see her tonight.
I didn't think we were going to see her last week. She got hit and kind of started her throughout the last of the games, but then she did come back, but didn't think she was going to come back in from the shoulder.
I actually saw her passing through the halls, and she had a massive bruise on that Monday after that game on that Friday. She had a massive bruise on her neck, and it looked nasty. But I think she just kind of powered through it and got over it, and then just was ready to play and wanted to get into the next match, especially against East. Here's Oddby over to V-Hill, to Romero, to Williams, and great dig by Oddby. Doesn't quite get fully under it. But here's V-Hill for the serve. Or excuse me, that will be number 8 of Garvette. Here's Hogan. To Manchego, to Sherman. Great dig by Romero to Williams. Oddby with the dig. To Menegatti. Menegatti seeing that one out of bounds.
Now, earlier in the game, Nolan, I mentioned that Maria Menegatti has a lot of power and never quits throughout the games, and it definitely shows even in this third set, she's still got a lot of power in her.
And Manchego actually trying to get the sneak lob over there, but doesn't actually hits that one out of bounds. Here's Garvette to Menegatti. Over to number 4. Excuse me, it's Gravatt. To number 4, the Cyclones. To Romero. To Gardner. And number 4 being Rumpf. Did I say that correctly, Michaela? Rumpf?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And here's Cyclone's serve. Hannenberg will actually be checking in for Hogan. And Coach King actually taking the second to talk to Manchego. Here's Hannenberg. And it will be Sherman back to serve. Sherman over to V-Hill, over to Romero, over to Williams. Oddby to Manchego, to Menegatti. Menegatti trying to get that center spike. Hits the net instead. And Sherman will be checking out and Hogan will be checking in. Here's V-Hill. V-Hill. Over to Gardner. Menegatti. To Hannenberg.
Now, really quick, I just want to thank our supporters for the Pueblo West Cyclone, our
DNL Garage.
Sorry, I totally lost it. Pueblo Electric and Cat's Poorhouse.
Yes, we much appreciate your support behind this program. Without your support, we probably would not be able to do this as frequently as we do. So again, once more, thank you, thoroughly thank you.
Yes, what we do would not be possible without you.
Here's White. White over to Hogan. Manchego with the setup. Here's Menegatti. We've always seen her at that corner.
That got me. If you guys could see my face right there, I look at Nolan like, holy crud. That was a powerful hit.
That was an incredible hit by Menegatti, and she got so much height behind that. But here's Manchego with the serve. White to Padula. Over to Garcia. Here's Hogan. V-Hill over to White. Over to Padula trying to take that one away. Manchego over to Menegatti in the corner. And Padula hitting that one over. And that one will be inbounds, just barely on the line. Hard call by the refs there. And a major switch up here. Number 10 of Whitley and Gravatt. grab that. That just does not work for me. I can't say that. There's Vandenberg.
Just give me a little nudge and I'll say it for you.
Okay, that'll work. I'll just say number 8, and then you'll just have to fill in for me. That work out for you? Because I can't pronounce that at all.
That works very much for me, Nolan. Whatever makes you happy and sleep at night.
Doing these broadcasts always make me happy. And Hogan actually hitting that one out of bounds after her serve. And I believe this is Padula to Menegatti. Over to Manchego, over to Sherman in the corner. Sherman almost hitting the head coach of the East Eagles there. Selling that one out of bounds. Padula back up to serve. Here's Hogan. Over to Manchego. To Menegatti. Menegatti with the killer serve. Took out Padula's head. That would have been something to see.
That would have been bad to see, Nolan.
That would have been something to see. Here's Manchego over to Medeiros, sorry. And I did not see when she checked in, but she's out there. And here comes, of course, our freshman, Reagan Emery.
Sorry, Nolan, I didn't think you were going to say it.
Oh, I was building the suspense, making it more.
Now, one thing I've noticed, though, Coach King does not put her in until later in the game, and I wonder why. I have noticed that she's a very good freshman varsity player, and like I've mentioned before, it's hard to see a freshman on a varsity team. You've got to be really good because you've got to skip freshman and JV team. So to be a freshman on the varsity team, that's pretty awesome.
That is quite awesome, and we have more questions for Wes while we have the minute here. So why don't we hear about one more question, only one. Don't go rambling and answer multiple questions though.
It's okay, Noah. I thought I only had one more question, but actually I have 2, but I'll save the other for later. I asked Coach King, how does your team practice volleyball outside the school? And he said they practice a lot inside the school, but a lot of the volleyball players play club volleyball, sand volleyball, grass volleyball, whatever it is, they're always playing and they're always practicing on their skills. So personally, I think that it helps them out throughout the season and helps them, especially in the games.
Well, thank you once more, as always, Michaela.
You're welcome, Nolan.
Should I do to you what I do to the rest of the players? Can't really say their first names, always having to say their last names. Call you Thomas?
No, it's not.
Simmons?
No.
Alright, I'll just keep calling you Michaela. There's Menegatti to V-Hill to White over to Gravatt. And Reagan Embry, our freshman, taking that one away for Cyclones. Here's Menegatti with serve. And that point going to East. Here's number 4 of Romero. Here's Romero over to Menegatti. To Williams, trying to peek that one over. Doesn't surprise the Cyclones. Him getting back over. There's Romero over to Gravatt. Did I say that right that time?
Yes, but you definitely exaggerated it.
I have to exaggerate it if I'm going to pronounce it. Like, I'm looking at it and it's pretty hard. Here's Manchego over to Emery. Williams to number 10 of Ripley. It's kind of a unique last name. You never really see that. I can't say I've ever heard of last name Ripley. Not trying to bash her or anything. It's kind of unique.
Watley?
No, Whipley. Whipley.
Oh, yes. I've never seen that last name
I've never
before.
seen Watley either, but There's a lot of unique last names that we always get to see. And too many hits on the Cyclones. And a big change. Here's number 5 of Watley. And number 1 of Ellis. Here's Hogan. Over to Manchego. Over to Emery in that corner. She's enjoying that corner right now. And that one's sailing out of bounds. Good call by Sloop. And Hannenberg checking in for Hogan. Here's Sherman. Sherman with the miss serve. And Hogan actually having to come right back in after Sherman gets the miss serve. Here's V-Hill. Hogan. Manchego with the setup over to Hannenberg. Hannenberg taking that one away. And Emery, our freshman, checking out. Did a great job for the few minutes that she played, but Garcia will be checking back in for the serve. Number 4, Romero. Padua trying to take that one out. And Romero couldn't quite get the dig on that one. We'll give the Cyclones a point. And you know what? We've seen Garcia have a killer serve tonight. She's done quite well for the Cyclones.
I definitely agree with you, Nolan.
Well, over to Gardner. Gardner lifting that one over. Hannenberg sailing that one way out of bounds. And Gardner actually checking out, and White will be checking in. Here's White. White to Hogan. To Manchego, over to Menegatti in the corner. And Menegatti with a killer serve. V-Hill trying to return on that one. Manchego back with the serve. No, we always see Manchego being the setter. I know it's kind of her job, but she always never selfish and tries to get the point for herself. She always sets up her other teammates.
Yeah, she's definitely a team player for her team, and that proves my point. She never tries to get it over by herself. She always has somebody else help her out.
I've always constantly noticed that, but here's number 10 of Whitley. And here's Garvat. That's it.
Garvat.
Oh my God. I'm just gonna kind of give up on saying it. Now Hogan with a great dig. Hannenberg with the takeaway right there at the end. Here's Hogan. It's number 10 to Romero. Sherman taking that one away. And here's Hogan with set and match point. Hogan. Over to number 8. There's Sherman. Over to Menegatti in the corner. V-Hill to Romero. Garcia over to Sherman. To Schloop at the spike. And that will take it away here for the Cyclones. Will win in the third set. 3-0. And of course, I am Nolan Simmons here with
Michaela Thomas.
And thank you once more for joining us here for our volleyball broadcast.